I got cut off, so hopefully I can patch this in together. So this scuba diver, he dives down and he finds jars. And he opens the jars because he's shaking it. He's like, what the heck? And in the jar is steak knives with spells and names wrapped in paper around the steak knives with elastic in the jar. Like, people literally do this stuff. I found voodoo in my attic of my own house. So first of all, when there is a spell cast, it depends who they're doing it against. Even if it's someone that deserves the spell, there are innocent people who have spells cast against them. So this jar is literally holding the spell in there with these names of people who have had chaos and confusion in their lives due to what other people have chosen to do to them. And now this guy takes the jar it's holding the energy, and he opens the jar and he pulled the knives out and he got the names and the paper off of the knives. He released all that energy. Where do you think that's going? Back to who wanted to cast the spell, or back to who cast the spell? So let's speak about like a love spell, okay? So let's say there's a woman who is not quite confident in herself, and she really likes this guy. She has a feeling they probably aren't supposed to be together, or she probably could never get a guy like that. So what? Sweet.
I got a job.
You got a job?
Yeah,
Okay. So go lay down. So let's try this again. So let's say there's this uncomfortable woman, girl, young lady. She's just not comfortable in her own skin, and she's interested in this guy who knows that she really shouldn't be with, or is out of her league or whatever, right? So let's say she casts some love spells to make him see her in a different way and it kind of masks her own energy. Because really attraction isn't face value, it's this. It's what's inside. And when this is ugly, it doesn't matter what this likes, because when there's no illusion, you can see that. And so this young lady casts these love spells on this guy, okay? And this guy falls madly in love with her, asks her to marry him, and years later, let's say, so there's some kind of discomfort within him. He doesn't know what's off, what's wrong, whatever. What happens is, okay, the law of reciprocity, equal give, equal receive. So what happens is when you are manipulating someone else's free choice, because that's what spell casting against another is. You're manipulating their free choice. Rather than them choosing you, you're forcing them to choose you. You've just made a deal with the devil. So what happens is the devil collects. So this man decides one day, he's like, I don't really know what's going on here. Like, I don't feel how I thought I felt. And so she does some more love spells to try and like up the ante and like make it work more. And so he's like, he starts asking himself questions, but he's quiet on the outside. He doesn't let anybody know that he's contemplating things and reflecting And so what ends up happening is when this man starts to wake up from the illusion, the devil collects, which means the spell is now broken and it returns to the sender. So now her wanting him to be obsessed turns into her own obsession. So what happens is her mind becomes twisted and she literally starts breaking down. She put herself in a mental prison and she becomes obsessed with him. And he wants to walk away now because the illusion is gone and he sees that he doesn't even know why he's been with her. And so he starts to question all of his decisions from the past. And now she is obsessed with him because the love spells went back. So now the devil's collecting from her. These are like lifetime contracts. Until the contract is fulfilled, it's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. When the contract's been fulfilled and your debt has been paid to the devil, then you can get off. Until then. So now this woman's in a mental prison. She's obsessed. Her lover's trying to walk away from her and trying to break free amicably. Let's figure out how to do this. And she's trying to figure out, oh, maybe I can buy some little sexy outfit and do a couple extra things in the bedroom, and maybe he'll want to be with me again, or maybe I can just remind him of the things that we've been through together, and maybe I'll send him some pictures from the past, and maybe I'll tug more at his heartstrings and get him to come back, which turns him off even more because it makes him see what really has been happening from the beginning. And this is how spellcasting happens and what happens. When you are manipulating the divine order, rather than being in situations where you learn a lesson and you either choose to be in a certain area of your life or you choose to move on, when you're manipulating something into your life that is not supposed to be there in that exact moment, you have to pay. If you do a money spell for $1 million, and how that spell comes to you is by someone knocking on your door and inviting you to a secret party and getting you to sign a contract into Hollywood, and you got to do a couple weird things and whatever. That $1 million was never supposed to be in your pocket. You didn't work for it. You didn't work for it. You stole. You signed over your own soul for these contracts, and you stole this money that was never supposed to be yours. You stole it from somebody else who was supposed to be in that energy. You manipulated their energy and you stole from them. You moved them out of the way. You moved them out of their purpose so that you could live the life that you were never supposed to live because you didn't work for it. And this is what so many people don't get. You don't have to be sitting there in your kitchen cooking up with herbs and candles and wax and jars and steak knives. You don't have to be sacrificing chickens in your backyard to cast a spell. You literally can think evil thoughts towards something. You can manipulate somebody else's life. You can speak shit about somebody else to a whole community. Like my child's father literally turned a whole community of people against me, and I didn't even know for 8 years. 8 years I still tried to be friends with this man. I still invited him over to stay at my family's house for Christmases. And finally, I found out that the whole community was literally stalking me and wanting me gone because they thought I was the problem. This is what happens. So then he gets stuck in a mental prison. A whole community turns away from him because that's what he wanted for me. This is exactly what happens to people. You want someone gone, you're the one that's going to be gone. But if you want them fully gone, you're probably going to be tortured first before you leave. Because God's going to want to see you watch that other person rise up. God's going to want to see that other person to get justice for all the shit that you did to them. And this is where the energy is at right now, is that all these people who have been causing chaos and confusion in other people's lives, they're getting it back. And they don't know what's going on. They're shitting their pants. They don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They're like, oh my God, am I going to be summoned to court? Oh, what's happening? How much money am I going to have to pay out? Are we going to have to settle out of court? Try and do a non-disclosure agreement? There's just... So what's happening is with this shift coming up, well, the shift has already happened. So with what's happening with the solar eclipse is divine feminine, divine masculine union. That's within those who have done the work, and it's also going to be an external love. And so everyone that we've left behind feels it. And everyone that is left behind is trying to cause chaos and confusion still, rather than stopping, correcting, taking accountability for your own actions. They still play the manipulation game, thinking that they'll be able to convince people that they were telling the truth the whole time. Although they've forgotten all the lies they told, they can't remember them all, so now they're tripping over their own tongue. And then there's those of us that have done the work, and we're literally trying to live in peace, and these people are still attacking us. So what's happening is the shift is happening, where God has taken out those who don't serve him or her, him and her. The all eternal, the one above all others. When you choose to serve yourself, your ego, the devil inside you, rather than the light, serving humanity, being a protector of our earth, being a custodian here, living in the abundance that's provided for all, they're being taken out. And so what's happening is there is like that game Pong, okay? From, what is it, Atari or Commodore 64, where you've got literally just a paddle and a ball, right? And then there's the net. And so you're hitting a ball. And it's ping, 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 ping. So everyone's firing energy back and forth to each other. What's going on here? Hold on. There we go. So that everyone's firing energy back and forth to each other. So you're feeling the whole collective of all the energies. Please try not to get confused. The energy that you're feeling inside may not be your own. There is a lot happening right now. And the best thing that you can do is to cleanse that out so that you know what's actually yours. These people are projecting towards us, wanting us to fall back into toxic patterning. They want us to fall back into bad behaviors and shitty mindsets so that they can trample on us some more and literally take us out because they're afraid. So half of what's going on in here, right now I'm talking to those who are doing the work, who are really truly trying to shift their own reality and who are really trying to take accountability for their actions. I'm talking to you right now. Half of what's going on in here is not you. It's not yours. Release it. Get it out of you. It's not yours. Now, how can you do that? How can you release it? You need to quiet the noise. Even if you have to shut your phone off for one day, make it the day of the eclipse. Like, this is like the most important thing right now. Shut your phone off for a day. Even if it's a half day. Even if you can't go quite the whole day because your kid's in school or because whatever your excuse is, okay? You can figure it out. You can shut your phone off for a day. Self-care. Nice music. Not the hardcore, like, die, and like, whatever. Don't listen to any of that stuff. The vibration of what you listen to, the words and the terms that people use that you're ingesting and consuming, it's honestly like something that is calm and peaceful with no lyrics even. Light a candle, set like an ambient mood setting type thing. Like this bright light stuff, it's horrible. It doesn't allow this to focus. You need like soft lighting. Breathe. Literally just breathe. You can even put your hand on your solar plexus. This is where the ego is centered, so you gotta be cautious. You don't want an overactive solar plexus, and you don't want an underactive one, because then you lack self-confidence. Like, literally just, I trust myself. I trust myself. And just being in that moment. Quieting the noise. Having no distractions. It only takes a few minutes sometimes to cleanse you out. Have a shower. Cry in the shower. Like, I know that men are conditioned not to be vulnerable, not to show emotions. You need to. This is how you release. So much of that stagnant energy built up inside you that causes dis-ease is emotions that you've just put as blockages in your system. Cry. Primal therapy. Like, primal therapy is... I didn't even know what it was, and I was practicing it. Literally, find a place in the forest. Just go for a walk in nature. You don't have to sit and meditate. I don't sit and meditate. Maybe I should. Doing dishes is meditation for me. There's different ways you can meditate. Nature walks are huge. The fresh air that you breathe in, it's living air. It has microbes and phytoncides. It's all great bacteria that you need. There's so many different practices to ground yourself, and literally just self-care and quiet. Quiet. One way to shift out of your mind, because I know, man, like, sometimes it's like cobwebs up here. It's like, this is attached to this and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Literally just close your eyes. You're already up here. This is where you think all the time, right? Before you do anything. Bring it down here. All you need to do is shift your focus. So this is one good thing about when you're blind or when you're deaf, you have one less sense, which means all your other senses are heightened. So when you just close your eyes, now your other senses can work so much better together. And your sense of bringing your thoughts to your heart, it clears thoughts away. So Release any energy that's not yours. You don't need it. There's so much projection right now. There's so much density because they're taking themselves out. This is what happens. The enemy always tells on themselves. This is how it works. So trust in you. Trust. Stop going for the external sources all the time to figure stuff out. Sit alone. Sit in the quiet, in the silence. Take care of yourself. You have all the answers right here. Right here. Not always right here. That's not always yours. Allow these energies to clear themselves out. It's a big shift that we're going through right now. Stop consuming and start caring and compassion for yourself. You've got this. We've got this. We've already done it. It's just playing out the timeline. Self-care, grounding, cleansing. Cut the cords. Seriously, look up cord cutting. All you need to do is visualize yourself, the other person you want to release, and you visualize a cord between you, and you cut that cord, and you see them going away. See them going away from you. Even when you leave a partnership, when you're having sex with people, you're putting all these attachments onto you. Now you're attached to them and they're taking your energy. They always have a piece of your energy until you release it. And until you release it, you can't move forward with anybody who's of, who's of a good rating, top tier, okay? You can't be top tier. You can't be with a top tier if you're still attached to a -10, you know what I mean? Someone who chooses not to do work on themselves. When you choose to do the work on you, it's up to them. That's their life. Forgive them. You need to forgive. You need to let go. Stop allowing the attachments. You will never, you're going to lose all of your potential possibilities by waiting, by still choosing to, I know, I feel bad. I know, you're going to have to do it on your own. Oh, suck it up. I've done it on my own forever. I've lived with 2 guys before and both of them lasted like 6 months, okay? You can do it. They can do it. Stop enabling them. When you enable their insecurities, when you enable their toxic patterning and behaviors and mindset, you're keeping your energy attached and you're missing out on so many opportunities right now. They'll be fine. They need to learn a lesson or two. And they can't with you still holding on to them. Your energy is healing them. Let go. Mwah. Blessings to you all. Happy solstice. Solstice? Solar eclipse. It's almost like both words put together. Happy solar eclipse. Happy union. Oh, this is such a beautiful time to witness. Enjoy it.